What's going on, everybody? James Largo, the Cichlid Shack, thecichlidshack.com, the Cichlid Shack on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all those other good social media outlets. Here today to do the second part in our breeding colony series. Hope you guys enjoyed the first part. A few questions that got asked many times is what size tanks are we using for our breeders. There is 63 total 40 breeders up here in the front. All peacocks, all our peacock breeding groups are in 40 breeders, and common haps are in 75s, and then we have predator haps anywhere from small groups in 75s up to 125s all the way up to 220s in the Triple S breeding program. Another question that was asked is if I have issues getting them to breed with the bare bottom tanks. The answer to that is no. I do not. I've never had an issue not having substrate in any of my tanks. Even my show tank at the front is bare bottom, and simply because it's easier to maintain when you have this many aquariums. To have a bare bottom tank, I can see when there's a lot of waste from the fish, or excess food or something like that, and it needs to be cleaned. The water change system does a pretty good job of keeping, does a very good job of keeping the levels where they belong. We change 10% out in every 40 breeder up here, and 15% out of every 75, and 30% out of each of the grow out tubs daily on that water change system. Those are the two questions that I saw most frequently. So I figured I'd cover those on this one. Here up first in the second part, this is my Clown Ruby Red breeding group. You're looking at the breeder male there. He is not in his breeding dress at the moment. This is his regular dress. In the breeding dress, that his entire body almost goes red. Very beautiful fish. It is a dwarf cichlid, so it doesn't really get any bigger than 4. I've seen some of them get to 4.5 inches in my grow out tubs. Other than that, they stay pretty small, but they hold their own like any other peacock. I do have a few extras that I've been, grooming, thinking about putting a second one of those groups together, but haven't done so yet. Down here is a group, I just recently got 3 females from a local guy here. This is my walkthru out of the front show tank, and he got a little bit abused toward the end before I moved him up here, so I'm trying to heal him up before I put him into the breeding situation. Up next, this is one of, it is a hybrid, folks. This is my Blue Sunset breeding colony. This is a project I've been working on for about 4 years now. This is the current breeder male in the 4th generation. When he gets into his breeding dress, and he does quite often, there's always females holding in here. But when he gets into his breeding dress, those fins, his top fin, his back fin, and his anal fin with all those amazing egg spots almost goes jet black. His body, his face gets bright blue, and then you can see in the side the sheen of yellow and blue, and wonderful fish. I like him very much. I'm almost to the point to where I was going with this particular fish, and I kind of wish he was in breeder dress. Maybe I can get a picture of him some other time when he's all fired up. Nonetheless, beautiful fish. and there is a nice male already showing down here in the grow out, and all the males get those amazing egg spots every time. Next up here, this is one of our two Alanacar Turkis breeding group. This is one of the lines of the Turkis that I breed. They breed very well. I have a few males colored up there. There's even, you know, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a barely even 2-inch male coloring up there. Very, very beautiful fish. I do have actually have 3 of these different lines of Turkis going. You'll see the second group on the next series. It's in the row behind me. And then I have a third group going at home. Over here is my blue neon breeding group. This is a wild-caught blue neon male and domestic females. He's getting very, very old. I've had him, I don't know, 8 or 9 years, and the breeder that I got him from probably had him another 3 years before that, so he's about 12. He still breeds rather well, but you can tell he's definitely showing his age. I have a couple of his sons, this guy here in the back being the main taker over here. He's about 3.5 inches now. This guy will be retiring soon. He's put in his fair share of work, produced thousands and thousands of offspring, and he will retire to his own tank by himself at my house here shortly. Here is a good shot of a couple of his offspring. Oh, after that, Maylandi sulfurheads. This is a line that I breed that gets that really deep, rich, almost blackish blue. When he gets fired up, the blaze goes from the back of his fin all the way down to the tip of his nose, and his body goes deep, deep, rich blue, almost black, like I was telling you. When he's subdominant, though, it's funny how the blaze only goes halfway from there to his nose, but when he's in breeder dress, the blaze fills in all the way down to his nose, and he is a sight to see when he's fired up. Maylandi sulfurheads. Okay, we'll cover this group on the next video. I gotta be able to have a ladder to get up there. It's kind of in a dark spot. So we'll hit this one on this video. This is my Copetochromis azureus group. I actually do have 4 males in here. I've grown these out from little from 1-inch fry. They are breeding very well. I can't decipher which of the 4 males I like the best, and they have no problems with each other. They don't fight, they tolerate each other, and there's continued breeding going on. So, you know, one of these days I might have to decide on 1 or 2 of them, but for now, they're breeding very, very well. You can see got a nice big 75 full of them. I got a couple of 29s at home. We'll show you this one also. This is a new group that I had gotten from another one of my Triple S breeders. Actually brought one of these to me. This Cichlid Jalo Reef. This guy is amazing. His fins are amazing. He's only pushing 4 inches maybe. Right now I only have the 3 females, but he's already, there's one holding back there already. We will be adding this to our lineup of breeding groups. I just have to make room and find a spot for him. But he will be part of the breeding program as well. Beautiful Jalo Reef. Alrighty folks, so we have the Psittacromis Jalo Reef, the Azurius group, Maylandi Sulphurheads, Old Man Blue Neon, my Alanacara Turkis, number 1 of 3 different Turkis groups, my Blue Sunset. You got a good shot of his head there. Might be a little bit of a giveaway of one of the fish that I have used. Hopefully you can see the bright red cap on his head. When he gets fired up, that red cap turns fire engine red. My Clown Ruby Red breeding group. And my Walter Eye. I'll show him on another video later on when I get him healed up a little from being taking a beating up here in the front show tank, and we get him into his breeding setup, and we'll show him later on. He's very, very nice. You've probably seen him in the front show tank before. We'll end it with a shot of the front show tank. I hope you guys enjoyed this second part of our breeding walkthrough. You've seen the first half of the front half of the shop with the breeding groups now. This was the first row here, which we did on part 1. Now you've seen the other side of that rack on this video. Then we will cover this rack and the one I skipped back there on the next one, and then we have this side, and then we have a whole bunch more in the back, and then I will cover the breeding groups at my house, and then I will try and get the Triple S squad to get me some footage on some of the groups that they have. I've also been asked what the Triple S stands for. It's no high kept secret. It's just kind of a silly name that me and a couple of the guys in the breeding program came up with, just to have a name for it rather than just calling it a breeding program. The Triple S stands for Shack Spawn Squad. Kind of a catchy name, just something fun for us to mess around with. So for those who have asked what the Triple S stands for, it stands for Shack Spawn Squad. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this walkthrough of another part series in our breeding group walkthrough. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I get back to them and answer them when I can. Thanks for watching. God bless.